Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Talky. I'm Jennifer, and this is Mia. Today, we're diving into an essential topic in English grammar, the passive voice. Before we get started, let's talk about why the passive voice is important and where it's commonly used.
Great point, Jennifer. So why do we use the passive voice? The passive voice is used when we want to focus on the action itself rather than who is performing it. This can be particularly useful in both writing and speaking when the doer of the action is unknown, unimportant, or obvious from context.
For example, in a sentence like, "The window was broken," the emphasis is on the fact that the window is broken, not on who broke it. This kind of structure is very common in news reports, academic writing, and even in everyday conversation when the focus is on the result rather than the person responsible.
And yes, the passive voice is used in both speaking and writing. It's especially important in formal contexts, like academic papers or professional reports. But it's also useful in exams like IELTS, TOEFL, and others, where demonstrating a good command of both active and passive structures can really boost your score.
So, whether you're preparing for an exam or just trying to improve your English skills, mastering the passive voice is definitely worth your time. In this lesson, we'll show you how to convert every active tense into the passive voice, and we'll also cover some important exceptions. The passive voice is a way of structuring a sentence so that the focus is on the action itself, rather than the subject performing it. For example, in a sentence like, "The cake was baked by Emily," the passive voice places emphasis on the cake, the object of the action, instead of Emily, who performed the action. This can be particularly useful in writing or speech when the performer of the action is unknown, unimportant, or deliberately being downplayed.
Let's take an active sentence. The chef cooks the meal. Here, the chef is the subject and the meal is the object. In the passive voice, we switch the focus to the meal. The meal is cooked by the chef.
Notice how the object of the active sentence becomes the subject of the passive sentence. The structure is object plus be in the correct tense, plus past participle plus by plus subject.
Now let's look at how to convert different active tenses into the passive voice. We'll start with the simple tenses. Present simple, active. The teacher explains the lesson. Passive. The lesson is explained by the teacher. Past simple, or active. She wrote the letter. Passive. The letter was written by her. Future simple, active. They will build a new bridge. Passive. A new bridge will be built by them.
Next, let's move on to the continuous tenses. Present continuous, active. They are cleaning the house. Passive. The house is being cleaned by them. Past continuous, active. She was reading the book. Passive. The book was being read by her. Future continuous, active. They will be painting the fence. Passive. The fence will be being painted by them. It's important to note that while the future continuous is grammatically possible, it's rarely used in passive form.
Now let's look at the perfect tenses. Present perfect, active. They have completed the project. Passive. The project has been completed by them. Past perfect, active. She had finished the assignment. Passive. The assignment had been finished by her. Future perfect, active. They will have delivered the package. Passive. The package will have been delivered by them.
Now that we've covered the basics, let's talk about some exceptions. First, not all verbs can be used in the passive voice. Verbs like have, own, resemble, and contain are usually not used in the passive because they don't describe actions that can be transferred. Also, when the doer of the action is unknown or irrelevant, we often omit the by phrase entirely. For example, "The cake was eaten," without mentioning who ate it.
Let's practice converting a few more sentences together. Feel free to pause the video and try these yourself. 1. Active. The students will take the exam. Passive. The exam will be taken by the students. 2. Active. The company is launching a new product. Passive. A new product is being launched by the company. 3. Active. She had already prepared the report. Passive. The report had already been prepared by her.
We hope this lesson has helped you understand how to use the passive voice in English. Remember to practice regularly to get comfortable with these structures.
And don't forget to subscribe to Talky, hit the like button if you found this video helpful, and ring the bell so you don't miss any future lessons. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.